I would like to start by introducing myself. My name is Love Dion, and I work with a startup company, Global company, that is into sales, marketing, and distribution, also known as supply chain management, also known as logistics business. And we've been doing this business now since 2018. So I thought about it. I said I want to take out time to enlighten people about this business. Many times when you ask, okay, so what do you want to do? What do you want to be? People say, oh, I want to be a businessman. Oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an accountant. And not many times you hear someone say, oh, I want to be a distributor. Oh, I want to be a marketer. Or I want to be a sales agent. I want to be a company agent. And that's because these professions exist, but they seem not to be so prominent, so to say. But these are professions that have the potentials of giving you good money in a very short time. And the beautiful thing about it is this is a business that you can do in combination with other things. It's not the kind of business that requires your 100% attention, your 100% participation, so to say. You can do other things alongside this. I believe that by the end of this 4 weeks, um, we'll have a lot of persons that will become distributors in their states, in their countries. We'll have a lot of persons that would have been exposed to the many opportunities that are available in this business. One thing I realize is that being a distributor or the sales, marketing, and distributorship profession plays a very important role to the manufacturers, that's the producers of these goods, of these products, and the community, the society, because a lot of people are going to be employed and engaged in that sales, marketing, and distribution process, right? So basically for tonight, we're going to be talking about what sales, marketing, and distribution business is all about, really, and why it is a business model anybody can do. Like I said in the short video I made advertising this my coming live to share on how to start a profitable sales, marketing, and distribution business, I made mention of the fact that I'm a part-time stay-at-home mom, but I'm doing this business. So we're going to be sharing on why it is a business model anybody can do and what FMCG means and how to recognize a good product. That's what we're going to be talking about today, because this is the first class and it's going to be basically introductory. I'm sure by next week, the third and the fourth would have given you enough information for you to be able to decide and say, okay, I want to be a distributor, as the case may be. So basically, I want to welcome everyone that has joined. Thank you for taking the time to join us. So I'm talking today about how to start a profitable sales, marketing, and distribution business. Ever since I started this business, it's been eye-opening for me because it's something I stumbled upon coincidentally. I became a distributor by coincidence, although at that time I was really looking for a business, something to do, trying my hands on so many things. But when this opportunity came, I knew this was it. A dear sister of mine brought a product to my house, and she said a friend of hers that came from Lagos, her friend's sister that came from Lagos brought it, so her friend gave it to her. And the popcorn is so nice, so she brought some to me at home. And when I ate it, I was like, this product is so nice. The name, the packaging, everything was just 100 over 100. I just loved the products immediately at first contact. And I started asking questions. Is it even in Kano? Where can someone get it in Kano? And that was the bingo moment for us. That was the moment that, the light bulb moment, I mean, for us. And then we said, okay, if it's not in Kano, how can it be brought to Kano? Can we contact the company? As at that time, in fact, this business is one of the reasons why I'm very active on Instagram. I've had an Instagram account, when Facebook acquired Instagram, there were a lot of prompts for us to have accounts. So I just opened an Instagram account from my Facebook. So I never really took Instagram so seriously, but it was the business that opened my eyes to the opportunities on Instagram. So we tried calling the company. We called several times. We couldn't get them. We thought, okay, maybe they don't use the number. We saw an email. We sent an email. We went on the website. It was the same details that was on the pack that was on the website. So it was almost like, how are we going to get to these people? So we sent an email. Although their Instagram account was there, but like I said, I wasn't into Instagram, so it didn't even get my attention. So we sent them a mail, and and from then on, we were waiting for their response. There was no response. We tried calling again. This took like a month, more than a month, and we were trying to get them. We couldn't get them. And then one day, I just picked the number again, and I think I sent an SMS this time and said, "Okay, I'm from Kano. We've been trying to contact you, and we would like to bring your popcorn to Kano. We came across the popcorn, just blah blah in the SMS." And they replied. They replied and they sent us a number and said, okay, call this person for Kano. Immediately we called, and very nice lady engaged us, spoke to us. We told her, everything. And she said, okay, that they really don't have any distributor in Kano. The product is basically in Lagos. And I think as I then in Lagos and Abuja. And they will be glad to have us bring it to Kano. We said, okay, wow. And then she said, okay, how do you want to start? She told us all the details, the prices and all. And we said, okay, I think that was even wisdom. Even when we did not know much about the business, we didn't start by bringing a large quantity of the product, which is a very important thing. When you want to start distributing a new product or a product that has never been introduced to the market that is your target market or the market of the location where you are, it is not advisable to start with a large quantity. Always start with a sizable quantity so that you can use that quantity to test the response of the market to that product, because that's what's going to determine if it's a good product that you should give your attention to, distributing and marketing. So we told the lady and said, okay, we're going to start with a bag. And she laughed. How can you start distributing a product with just one bag of, popcorn? And as at then, they didn't even have the mini pack. It was the 55-gram packs they had. So she said she cannot imagine them going to the park to send just one bag of popcorn to Kano. So we just spoke to her that we want to start with that. This is the first time we're introducing it, and she said, okay, she agreed. And we made the payments, the popcorn came to Kano. One of the things that we used to know that this was a good product was my niece, my husband's niece as at then was living with us. She took that one back to her office. She was in a hospital as a nurse. And at one sitting, she sold everything. Just right there, the whole bag was gone. And everybody that took it, oh, this popcorn is nice. What's the name? This is my first time of seeing it. Oh, I love it. How do I get it? And she said, okay, you can get from us. We're bringing it to Kano and all that. And that was one of the signs we used to know that this product was a good product and we should work with it. And the next thing, we had to start working on raising the funds, put together the funds to place a larger order. And then, of course, after you bring the product, the next thing is to introduce it to the stores. And that was where we met another obstacle. And I would like to say this, and this applies to not just this sales and marketing and distribution business, it applies to every business. whatever business you want to go into, whatever business you want to start, one of the first things you must do, one of the very first things you must do is to make up your mind not to stop. Determine what you want to do with that business, what you want to achieve in that business. Make it crystal clear in your mind, write it down, and go for it. Because that determination is what is going to keep you going, even when it looks like the doors are not opening, when it looks like there is a lot of resistance. That is what is going to keep you. Your determination. It is very important, and this cuts across almost every areas of life. When we brought the popcorn to Kano, the response of the consumers is different from the response of the resellers, because we are distributors, and so we're not going to only sell directly to the individuals. We are going to be selling to wholesalers, and then the wholesalers to retailers, and then it gets to the consumers. So even if we are tested the marketability of the product with the customers, now we have to approach the wholesalers, who are our targets, because as a distributor, your targets are the wholesalers. The wholesalers have to buy into your product, into the product you are distributing. That is when you can have a good, you can get into the market, So we went to the market, we went to the wholesalers, and the response was, it was so discouraging. First was the price. Oh, they liked the product. The product was nice. The packaging, the taste, the quality, everything was just 100 over 100. But the next thing was the price. And that brings me to this. There are three basic things that determines if a product is going to be accepted in the market. Number one is the quality, right? The likability. I'll say likability. And the likability, I'll divide into two. The quality of that product, and then the packaging. Very important. And then secondly, the profitability for the wholesalers. If a wholesaler is going to sell your products, of course, he's doing the business also to make money. You can't just convince him with, oh, the product is very nice. Your customers will love it. If you bring it, it will sell out and all that. That is good. But the man is pressing his calculator because that's the most important thing. The money that it's going to bring in. So you see, that was where we're having a little challenge. So we had to go back to the company and say, okay, this product, this is what the wholesalers are saying, and the price that we proposed for them to sell to the consumers, they refused. They said, oh, they cannot sell it for 120. How would they be getting change? Customers will not accept it, they will not buy it, and all. But we didn't allow that to deter us, because apart from the wholesalers, they are the stores, they are the supermarkets. The wholesalers sell to the stores too. But as a distributor, you can also sell to the stores. So we didn't wait to get the wholesalers to buy into what we're bringing in. We had to start approaching the stores. And one of the first things we did, we came up with a name for the business. When we came up with the name, the next thing we came up with our invoice. In fact, everything happened so fast. In less than a week, we had brought out everything and we were out. We said we fire let's sell this thing. Another error we made was we didn't make a move to register the business immediately, and we had already made invoice and all that. So by the time we had gathered enough money from the business, the good thing about the business was the profit we made from the business was what we used to register the business. Yes, the profits we made from the business was part of what we used in registering the business. When the name went to the CAC, it was not approved, so we had to get another name, and we had already printed our invoice. So even till now, it's still the invoice, the last part of the invoice, because we did a large quantity. If we were even going to use a name that is not registered, would have done maybe a booklet or 2 booklets. We made 10 booklets, then about 100 pages or 150 pages booklets, 10 for a business name that you are not registered. That was an error. That was a blunder. And so that's the reason why I'm sharing all of this, so that those that are listening to us, if you are interested in becoming a distributor, or you've never really thought about it, but from what I'm sharing, you're beginning to consider it. You have to learn from all of this so that you don't make the same mistakes that we made. That's the whole essence of what we are doing right now. So the CAC did not approve the the name we chose, so we had to get another name, and then we registered it. But of course, we could not trash the booklet we already made, so we continue using it like that. Even if the name that we introduced ourselves with was quite different from the name on our invoice, we had to create a clause where we now wrote that it's a subsidiary of the registered name in the invoice, in our letters. Sorry, we had already made the invoice in our letters, because when you're going to a store, you don't just go to the store with the product and then word of mouth. You have to go with the document, and that document is your letter of introduction. Who are you? What you're bringing to them, the name of the product, the price, and all the basic information. We have a template, and at a point in this series, those that would like to become distributors, we give them a prompt on what next to do, because of course we'll try to build a community of distributors in Nigeria through this platform. So after that, we just continued, and we started the business, did our letters, went to the stores. Most of the stores accepted. So the next thing we now had to come up with was our payment agreement policy. Because you see, when you're doing business, especially as a distributor, especially as a startup, okay, and when you're dealing with a product that is not really known, so to say, if you were dealing with a product that is known and there is a high demand, stores will be willing to pay immediately. In fact, you can even you you are an authority, because if they don't pay, you will not give them, and they need it because their customers also need it. You understand? But in this case, you're dealing with a product that is new, and you're just introducing it through their store. You see, so they might not want to pay when you supply them. So you now have to have a payment policy plan. Are you going to be collecting payments in 2 weeks after distribution, after you supply, or after a month or a week, as the case may be? But one thing you must bear in mind is most of these stores also have their own payment plan for their distributors. Okay, some of them will tell you, oh, we pay after a month. Most of the stores that we've worked with, that was their standard. But I would advise that you don't go with that as a startup. That's where your negotiation skill has to come in. You must be able to negotiate, because you are a startup, remember, and some of these products that you are distributing, you are paying to get them in. The company is not giving it. Remember, you're just starting, okay? So we'll go, as we progress, you will see on why I'm always emphasizing on this, because it gets to a level where you might be able to get goods even without paying, okay? But when you're starting, you will have to pay for the goods that you're starting with, the product you're starting with. So imagine you buy the product, you bring them in, and you distribute them to the stores. That's your money held there, okay? And that's where a lot of startups begin to struggle. So I would advise, so you don't make the kind of errors we made, or you don't have to go through, that journey that we had to endure. You can propose to them and tell them you want to do 2 weeks, so that they don't hold your money for long. And that 2 weeks, when you are making your supply, remember, don't supply just like that. Just go and carry the product and say, I'm supplying this store. No, most stores will not even collect it. After you've sent your letter of introduction, they will give you their order. They will give you an order form ordering for your product. Oh, give us 2 big bags, 2 small bags, as the case may be. Give us 10, give us 5. Most stores don't ask for large quantities when they are starting with new products, and of course that's wisdom. That's how it ought to be. Like I said when I started talking, even you as a distributor, when you're making your first order from a company that you are, distributing their product, you don't make a very large order. Start with a sizable quantity. so that you can use that to test the response of the market to that product. Is very important. They will come, you get to a level in the business where you might not necessarily have to wait to test the market. You can decide to distribute a product banking on the work you will do in sales and marketing for that product. Okay, so as we progress, I'm sure we'll cover all of that. So that is that about what this business is all about and how to start it. Next, I would like to talk about why it's a business model anybody can do. And like I said, many times, not let me not generalize, but on a personal note, when I engage people or when I'm in a place where people are talking about career or business opportunities and all, you hardly hear people talk about becoming a distributor or going into supply chain management, even if the advent of Instagram and social media has made this very pronounced now. Growing up, I never knew what's distributor, what's distribution. We only knew, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a businessman, I want to sell spare parts, I want to sell cars and all. But we didn't understand what's middlemen where. We just see products, we buy and we go. We don't know. We know, okay, for example, is this company that made the product. We don't know how the product got to that store. We just buy and we go. Meanwhile, somebody is cashing out for every product you buy from a store. So you see, it's a business model anybody can do. Like I said, when we started, I was still having my 9 to 5. Yes. So I go to work. Most of my supplies I was making them in the evening. Although some stores have their time, they'll tell you we stop collecting goods by 5. But with relationship and making my case, I was able to get them to collect sometime by 5:30, sometimes by 6. So what I do when I'm going to the office, I would have already loaded my car with the goods I'm supplying. Once I close from the office off to the stores, my invoice is always in my car. I would go and supply and go home. And at the end of 2 weeks, I go back and collect my money. And the beautiful thing about supply is it's not a one-off thing. It's something that continues. For as long as that company is existing and that product is existing and people are still demanding it, you are in business. You're cashing out. You don't even know who is giving you money. I mean, you're not even sitting down in the store and waiting and looking for who is buying. You just put the product there and people are buying and you're getting your money from it. The company is happy, you are happy, and people are having access to good products that they need. So as we progress, I'm going to be talking about positioning of your products in the stores. I think that will come up maybe in the third class, because there are many technicalities in this business. It's not just, oh, I'm doing sales, marketing, and distribution. I'm a supply chain management. I work in the supply chain management, and I'm a distributor. There is more to it. Even after a product has been accepted by a store, there is more work to do there, because there are people in those stores. there are principalities in those stores. And if you have a wonderful storekeeper, your product can just be on the shelf or in the store and it's not moving. And then that's also another thing when we talk about, you have to visit the stores regularly to see how the products are doing, especially when you are introducing them or when you just introduce them in that store or in the market. We actually plan to start this class by 7 p.m. But so many things came up. It was almost looking like, I'm sure this is a good idea. I'm sure I should do this. Why is all of this happening? As at 8 p.m., it was looking like, am I even still going to come live? But here we are. And like I said, I want it to be between 30 to 40 minutes so that, I don't want to take too long and just talking about it. I want to be able to give you the information straight up and get you to participate from the beginning to the end, because I observe that when a class or a session is so long, it begins to drag, people lose interest and they don't complete it. I want the people that start to also join us till the end of the sessions. So I'm going to be ending now. And the sessions, like I said, is going to hold every Thursday. Yes, every Thursday in the month of June, and it will not be by 9 p.m. And that's because by 9 p.m. everybody is settled, people are home, and it's just also convenient for me. I put my kids to bed, and I can give you my full attention. If they are awake around about 7 o'clock, they've not slept. So it has to be by 9 so that I can give my I can give my best without distractions. So I'm going to end in this session now. And I want to thank those of you that joined. I can see memes, trips, and more. I'm pretty funny. One, thank you for joining. And I hope you have learned something from this brief session that we've had. I would like to take any question if you have any now before we call it a night. So a brief recap spoke about what the sales, market, and distribution business is all about, and why it's a business model anybody can do. Okay, and basically we shared about how we started. I'm sure in the course of that, I gave some very useful points that would help anybody out there that is considering becoming a distributor. Anybody can be, no matter what you're already doing, you can still be a distributor. Like I said, you're not in the store standing with the product. You just put it there and it's sold and you're making your money from it. Yeah. And wholesalers can come and buy from you. So there's just so much in this. And I believe that my decision to have these sessions free is so that someone out there can see this opportunity and take advantage of it. Really, the opportunities are vast. So by next week, we're going to be covering introduction to company representation. You know what it means to be a company rep, because sometimes people confuse being a distributor to being a company rep. They are not the same. So we're going to be debunking that in our next class. And then also in our next class, we're going to be talking about how to position your product in the stores and the relevant personnel in those stores you need to work with. Very important. See, all of these things that I'm saying to you, they are things that we learned trial and error doing it by ourselves. So I'm saving you time, I'm saving you money, I'm saving you stories that touch, I'm saving you heartbreaks, I'm saving you so many things by sharing these things with you. So that when you start with information, very important, and you will not make the kind of errors that we make. So thank you to everyone that joined us for this session. Till we come your way live by next week Thursday, second Thursday in the month of June. So that's going to be on the 10th, I presume, the 10th, yes, by 9 p.m. So save it in your alarm and follow at Kano Instant Market 1 and turn on notification to our post so that you don't miss any of the sessions. Once again, thank you for joining us and have a beautiful night. God bless you. Bye.